Hey guys, so one of my favorite things on earth is live music and going to shows. And so I decided that I would put up together a little survivor guide for concerts so that I could share my do's and my don'ts, things, mistakes that I've made that I wish I could have avoided, or things that I do now that work for me. So here we go. Alright, first thing is that you should, in my opinion, there are two types of shows. And you should know what kind you're going. The first one is like stadium/arena kind of shows, and the second one is like small pubs/clubs kind of shows. Normally these the stadium arenas ones have seated areas, and the smaller ones it's just a general admission section. Second of all, and I know this will sound stupid because it's obvious, but print your ticket, because I see so many places now that they're accepting tickets on your phone or electronic tickets, and I swear I've seen the same venue, two different shows. In one they were accepting the electronic tickets and in the other one they weren't. So save yourself the trouble and print your ticket. Something else, check the directions, whether you're driving or you're taking public transportation, check it. And if you're driving, also check where you can park your car if you have a parking near it or a parking lot somewhere. And if you're taking public transportation, check the times. Check the time that the last train or whatever it leaves, and also check the time that the concert is going to finish. Because one time I nearly missed my last train because I did not check it. Alright, something else super important, if you're lining up, take care of yourself. Bring loads of food, bring loads of water, and try to rest as much as you can. If you don't eat or drink water, I am telling you, because I've been through this, you will be dead by the time the concert starts and you're not going to enjoy it as much as you want to. So make sure you're taking care of yourself. I used to line up. I personally don't do it anymore. The last time I did it was I think like 5 years ago. I was going to a One Direction concert. It was in a stadium and I had a VIP early entry ticket, but I was in the general admission area, and because it was a stadium I decided, oh my god, there's going to be loads of girls and I want to get a good spot. And so I was going with a friend, and a month before the show we heard that there were girls camping out already, a month before the show. And so we were like, it's going to be fun, like it's going to be a couple of girls, it's not going to be much. And so we went the same day at 5 a.m. and there were like 24 girls in front of us, and we were like, oh my god, we're really gonna get a good spot. And as morning started to advance, I am not kidding, between 150 to 200 girls showed up, and they were cutting the line in front of us, saying that there was some kind of list they made throughout the months that the tickets were being sold, and they did this list where they were on, and they had the right to be in front of us even though none of these girls was there before, right? And so I had this girl who was from the south of Spain, and she was telling me, oh, you're really lucky because you're from Barcelona and this is where the concert is being held in. I have to come from the south of Spain, so it is unfair because you can be here before I can. And I'm like, dude, this is a concert, it's not a fucking camping. And this is how it goes. Like, it's not my fault I was born here. And like, look, I've been here since 5 a.m. You could have come here earlier when your flight landed, but you decided to write your name on a list and show up at 11 a.m. I'm like, I'm not having it. And so there was this massive fight that started. Security did nothing. We ended up having like 300 girls in front of us. I was so upset, and that's the last time I decided to line up. It's like, I'm not having it anymore. And so, and I think it also helps because I go to a lot of small shows. I now showed up like 10 minutes before the doors open, and I'm completely fine because I'm a short girl, and so I have trouble being in the middle of the crowd. So I either have to be in front of or behind the crowd. And I'm fine being behind the crowd. I enjoy the concert just as much. And yeah, that's why I'm not lining up anymore. Alright, here are my do's. First of all, wear comfy clothes. Like, I'm serious. Just wear comfy clothes. I mean, if you're going to a stadium or in a show and you're on a seated area, then I guess you can afford to look a bit more cute than someone who would go to general admission. But if you are going to general admission, or especially you're going to a small show, wear something comfortable like jeans or shorts or like a pair of trainers or whatever it is, but just do. And also something else, it tends to get super hot, so wear something that it's like fresh and it keeps you cool, because you will have a heat stroke or some kind of thing like this, or dehydration or some kind of thing, and it's not going to be a pleasant and nice experience. What else? If you like to wear makeup and you want to wear makeup to your concert, make sure it's long lasting and waterproof, and you spray your face a million times with fixing spray before walking out the door, because it'll be everywhere. Your makeup will be everywhere but your face. So make sure you're using waterproof, long lasting and fixing spray. Now, I know that we tend to get a bit nervous and excited about the show, and that sometimes it translates in some people like not having any appetite or not being able to eat anything. And my advice is that you try to eat at least a tiny bit, because as I said before, you will run out of energy at some point and you will be super tired. And now something else. Because when we go to concerts, we're so we think about seeing our favorite band or that artist so much that we tend to forget that what should we behave like. And this is something super important, because I've been through some experiences where I wish people would have been more nice. And yeah, so you have to be very respectful about everyone around you, whether it's the band's crew or team, whether it's security guards, which are usually super rude, but anyways, be nice, or whether it's the band itself or the artist, be nice and be respectful. What else? Know where you're going and know your surroundings, acknowledge your surroundings. Because, for example, a year and a half ago, I went to a concert of Bring Me the Horizon. Bring Me the Horizon are a pretty heavy band, and I was second row, and I had these group of 15, 16-year-old girls next to me. Obviously, if you're going to this show, you will find mosh pits, there will be pushing, there will be walls of death, there will be crowd surfing and all of this. These girls kept insulting everybody and screaming to everybody because they were being pushed around. So you have to know where you're going. Once again, what I said at the beginning, know where you're going, and you have to adapt yourself to your surroundings. So if you're feeling uncomfortable in a place, like if you're in the middle of the crowd and you're being pushed too much, then in my opinion, you're not in the right place. You should have been on the side or in the back of the room. Something else, and this is key, and I think it's one of the most important things. Stand up for each other. Just do. Whether there's someone in the crowd who's being a dick, whether if it's the security guards who are being dicks, or it's the same band or artists that are being dicks, stand up for each other. It's so it's worth it, I promise. And if we were being picked on, or we were to be into some kind of situation that was unpleasant, we would like to have someone to say, hey, stop doing this, you're being a dick. So do it for other people as well. The last concert I've been to was a month ago or so, and I went to an active show, and as it is, we're opening for them, and they were playing, and so these kids started crowd surfing as normal, and there were a few security guards between the barriers and the stage, and they were not helping these kids to land. They were basically bumping their heads against the floor or the barriers, and they were hurting themselves. And so the same singer had to stop and please ask for the security guards to actually do their jobs and help these people out. So this is what I'm talking about. Stand up for each other, because it's nice, and I'm sure you would want someone to do the same for you. Now, my don'ts. Do not wear uncomfortable shoes or new shoes. If you wear uncomfortable shoes, your feet are going to hurt and you're going to die. And if you're wearing New shoes, there can be two things. One, that you get pissed because your shoes are going to be dirty by the end of the show, which they will be, like they will. Or second of all, that you haven't worn them before and they will hurt your feet. So make sure you're wearing something comfortable, something that you've already worn before and that you don't mind getting dirty. So something else is, for your sake and for everyone surrounding you on the crowd, don't wear big backpacks or big handbags because it bothers so much. Think about the person who has to be behind you and you're carrying a big backpack. Like, just don't bring these things. Another don't is if you're front row or the first few rows of a show and the bands are giving like drumsticks or guitar picks or set list at the end of their set, don't fight with the people around you. It's just, don't fight. I mean, I know it's nice to have something from your favorite artist or your favorite band member or whatever, but just don't fight. Like, honestly, I get so pissed. Like, most of the times that I've been first row, I haven't even tried to reach for something because people get so aggressive. Like, it's just something, it's the same thing again. Be respectful and know where you are and acknowledge that the people who are surrounding you are also human beings. So try not to fight and not be aggressive. Okay, about the merch. If you want to buy merch, you have two options. If you care about your spot, you will have to go to the merch after the show. If you don't care about your spot, you can go to the merch before the show starts. And so if you do that, you ensure yourself that you will find the t-shirt that you want or the size that you want, whether if you go after the show, because everyone goes, you don't know. So keep that in mind. About my bag, what do I carry in my bag? So I normally take this bag to shows. It's small, it's a crossover, and it's so comfy when you go to, like, it doesn't bother you too much. And so what I have in this bag is my ticket, my purse, my house keys, my public transportation card, and my phone. That is it. I have my essentials with me, and if I want like some water after the show, I will just get it there, and that's it. So this way, you know, you don't have to be worrying about wearing a big backpack or handbag, and you also don't have to worry about bothering anyone else. So keep it simple. After the shows, if you are into smaller acts or bands that, like me, you have a lot of chances of meeting the band after the show. Just keep a couple of things in mind. The first one, they are human beings, so don't scream right into their faces. They don't like it, because I've seen it and they look so uncomfortable and they don't appreciate it, to be honest. And second of all, remember that not everyone likes to be touched or hugged by strangers or people that they don't know. So don't go straight for it. Just ask them if you can have a hug or a handshake or a high five or a picture, whatever is it. Ask first, don't just assume. Because at the end of the day, they don't owe you anything. You pay that ticket to see them perform. That ticket does not include a hug or a picture or anything. So if they don't want to, also respect it. This is it for my tips and my advice for you when it comes to shows. But yeah, if you love live music or music in general as much as I do, and I know this will sound super cliche, but when you are in your favorite band's concert or just a band that you like a lot, you know that space and that couple of hours that you spend with them and that room, it's a safe place. It's a place where you just can fully open up to music, let it get in you, just enjoy it in general. And it's super important that we keep those spaces safe, and once again that we are super respectful and nice to everybody, so that we can let the music do its magic. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Like it if you like the video, obviously, but if you want to hear more about music or you want to see more videos, and if you hit the subscribe button, that would mean the world to me. Thank you so much. I'll see you next week.